The calling application in the Desire phone is not difficult to use. It's located right here on the first screen and provides this keyboard with a large button and an on-screen tip for smart searching. In my book, I've pointed out that this method for searching is far from intuitive, since very few users can figure it out straight away. But this was an older HTC phone where no tips or directions were provided. Here, directly on the screen, the designers have chosen to help the users by explaining the search method in this text, and once it's learned, the method is easy to use and smart. Obviously, even though I wrote about this, I don't expect to get credit for this. This application was designed a long time before my book was made public. In another review, I made a comment such as, "This is nice, you can see what you can do on the interface." What I meant was that the more explanations that you get on the interface, the easier it will be to use. It might slow down the interaction, but it won't be hard to use, it'll just be a little bit more cumbersome. And this is what the designers have done here. The user is invited to tap the screen in order to see this tip, which explains the rather advanced search algorithm in an easy digestible manner. So, whatever information the user needs in order to interact with the interface is displayed at the tip of his finger. Very usable. Even if the user decides not to read the tip, HTC has done what they could to help. At the top of the screen, the designers have chosen to provide a list of recently used numbers, and once all these have displayed, there's a list of contacts below, such as this. The top part of the list is similar to the list the user gets if he presses the key down here, or the same key if he goes into Menu and Call History. I'm not sure why the user would need 3 different methods for getting to the same list, but that's a minor issue compared to the really major problem in this application, that the numbers from the contact list are moved to the list of recently used numbers, but not duplicated. Let me show you an example. As you can see, I have a contact called A here in my list. I press it, initiate a call, hang up, and as you can see, it's now at the top of the recently called list here, but it's not in the list down here. This might seem like a minor problem, but the last time I checked, or maybe this time, I had roughly 40 numbers in my list of recently used numbers. If I then want to search for a contact, I can't rely on a sorting method based on the first letter, and I have to search through these last 40 numbers in order to find the contact that would have been a lot easier to find by simply scrolling down here to the alphabetical list. I'm not sure why the designer has chosen to do this. The idea might be that the user will be confused if the number appears twice, but that's a smaller problem than having an annoyed user who can't find his number. During a call, there's another issue, the mute button. I have used this a few times now, and I understand that these buttons can either be active or passive, but at first I simply did not get it. I was in a phone conference, and suddenly the moderator of the conference said something along the lines of, "Yeah, it's a bit difficult now with all the Danish chatter in the background," which was very embarrassing. I did not understand that a white button was passive and a black was active. A more intuitive design would be to display a microphone when the microphone is active, and a microphone with a line over it when it's not active. Now the phone is actually muted. Now it's not. But let me show you a thing that makes up for some of this. If I dial any number, I get the direct option of saving to people up here. Users love this kind of assistance, since it shows that the designers have actually sat down and figured out the complete use case for place a call, and has considered the possible spin-off use cases, such as this one, save to people. So, to end this short review, the calling application is fairly easy to use, but the simple flaws that has been mentioned here ought to be fixed.